And now, your official TigerBait live show with Mike Scarborough and Buddy Songy starts now.
All right, game week is here. So welcome in, everybody. Another edition of TigerBait Live. Mike Scarborough alongside my cohort, Buddy Songy. And I think we're going to have a big show tonight. We're going to finally get Buddy on the record as far as his prediction. I've kind of been saying my prediction for about 6 months. I don't know if it's changed any, but we're going to give it tonight. Talk about LSU versus USC Sunday. It's game week is finally here, and it sure is exciting. A lot of people have already on their way to Las Vegas. A couple of friends of mine got on the planes today. And so we're going to discuss all that and, of course, get to all of your comments and questions. And welcome in, buddy.
Hey, good to see you, Mike Scarborough, a long-time publisher of TigerBait.com. Really, folks, if you want to cover football, he gives you from A to Z. Going to start covering the high school jamborees. Obviously, a lot of footage, a lot of opinion, a lot of reports, a lot of interviews that we use on the radio show. And the great thing about it is that everybody has a different box of chocolates. And for some reason, folks, I'm all in on it being a nutty season. And here we go to start off. First of all, for all of you going to Las Vegas, how cool is that going to be? Don't worry about the pocketbook. They're going to get the most. I saw a couple of things. We talked about it before the show. Everything's sold out. Shows, restaurants, the game. USC has obviously picked up the ball. So, and this is what I really love about it, Mike. Both fan bases are believing and thinking they're not going to win, not hoping they're going to win. You Tiger fans could make a difference.
Believing they're going to win.
Yeah, there's no doubt. But that's really when you get your program established and at the right point. Georgia fans, Alabama in their heyday, believe they were going to win every time. LSU football players have got to get off the snide. They've got to go into Allegiant Stadium Sunday night believing they're going to win, not hoping they're going to win.
Well, if you listen to Will Campbell's interview, that put if they're all thinking and talking like that, or if they're not, they just need to follow Will Campbell's league. That was a hell of an interview yesterday. But yeah, so we're going to discuss that and many more topics tonight. Please hit the like button if you're enjoying the show, and do me a favor, share it to your social media, your Facebook, text it out to your fellow LSU buddies. Very much appreciative. We're going to go to about 9 o'clock, maybe a little longer. And we're going to get to as many of your questions and comments as possible. So, of course, our title sponsor is Pride Roofing. We're going to talk about Mike and Alex a little bit later in the show. Genesis of Lafayette, Alumni Hall, Manda's Fine Meats, and, of course, Stroube's and Capital City Grill. All of those are a big part of the TigerBait family, and we're going to get to all of them later in the show. So
all awesome sponsors, too, I might add.
Absolutely. Okay. Roger Ramjet, he's just about every week. Hey, Mike and Buddy, always enjoy the show. Can our running game give us an edge over USC? Go Tigers. I don't think there's a coach in college football, and there certainly hasn't been a coach at LSU this century that wouldn't like to be highly successful running the football on first down, even with a offensive line that many think is the best in the country or top 2 or 3, however you want to argue about it. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Can you get it done if Josh Williams is your ball carrier 60% of the time? Are we going to get more of Caleb Williams? What's the player participation chart going to look like at the end of the football game? But boy, if you can get in first and 10, and all of a sudden it's 2nd and 4, you take that all day long. But I think just as important is that when you're on 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2, you're a lot more confident that you can pick up the first down running the football than certainly we have been in how many years? I mean, it used to be on 3rd and 1, it was a passing down. It's been like that for a while. And with this offensive line, that should not be the case.
I think Will Campbell came right out and succinctly told everybody, look, we're not mincing any words. We are going to run the football. And you talked about first down. First of all, the first thing you have to put into the equation is the availability of Miles Frazier. And last time we were out there, he was in a boot. He is limited. He may be back. If not,
but he only said Chris Hilton's the only one.
well, yeah, I know, but still, I mean, the bottom line is that is he going to be 100%? How many snaps is he going to be?
Right.
Is he going to get rolled up on? Is Tyree Adams going to play? Paul Mubinga, number 65, is the redshirt freshman, beat Michigan from Georgia. Really good. Will Campbell talked him up. So how much of tinkering with the offensive line are you going to have to do? Secondly, DJ Chester. We've talked about this all fall camp. First game, remember Delhi in the Superdome, snap over the head. Look, you're going to have some faux pas. Don't expect him to be perfect. Nuss, really first big game where he knows that the ball is in his court. And so you got a lot of first-time things going on. But can LSU run the football? Look, you mentioned Josh Williams. I think you give Josh Williams the first couple of carries and maybe first series. But if you get Caleb Jackson in that game, and he starts to take over and starts to unload on people and pick up big yardage and score touchdowns. And then, Mike.
And again, buddy, when we do say this kind of stuff, it's not taking a shot at Josh Williams. I mean,
No,
he's a great story. And
he's running back by committee, though.
Yeah.
All of look, John Henry will get a few carries and Cade Durham will get a few carries. But my point is that Joe Sloan, you don't go to Las Vegas and not gamble. So do you think Brian Kelly, who just got a dozen balls, do you think Joe Sloan, do you think Blake Baker are going over to Las Vegas to feed up vanilla to you on Sunday night? It is Sin City, and there's going to be some gambling. And I really love the complimentary short dink and dunk passing game. It's like a run and play. So you get them not knowing what they're going to do. Then you play bully ball in the second half. I think that is the recipe. Because as we saw with Georgia Tech, you run the clock out. They had a couple drives, 5 to 6 minutes. So we'll see. But
and by the way, when I say 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and you're not confident about your ability to get a first down, that wasn't with Jaden Daniels. With Jaden Daniels, you know, it might look like a pass play, but a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, he'd end up going from 13 or 14 yards, if not take it to the house.
Don't forget, they're pulling more. There's going to be a lot of inside zone runs, a lot of counters. I think if Joe Sloan, and you know BK's going to have his hand on the remote control in this first game with everybody. So, but look, I like LSU. If they can be unpredictable early, I like their running game to, what would you put on an over and under you want to see them run the football for?
I mean, you'd love to see them have 170, 180 yards.
I was thinking 180. You give them 180 and another couple 250 passing, that's 430 or whatever. And then, of course, as we know, got to score touchdowns in the red zone. But yes, I like Caleb Jackson. I like the rest of the running backs.
And by the way, I'm just as fine if you want to, little pass to a running back in the flat. You know, to me that's part of the running game. But,
I love that.
But James Moore, let's. Mike and Buddy, if the Tigers are going to be successful, they must win time of possession, which means run the damn ball and win the red zone, which means score touchdowns, not field goals. I agree with that, and that's certainly what they want to do. Fire 3449 with a Saints question. Yeah, I didn't see that.
What was that?
I confess I don't carve out time to watch
Was
the
that
Saints.
on the return?
Yeah.
Yeah, set a record, but did not get into the end zone.
Yeah.
Got knocked out at the half-yard line. I just saw the replay. But sorry, Fireman, we've been more interested. Look, the Saints are predicted to win 7 or 8. You got LSU getting ready to kick off. You got another 10 days or so for the Saints. We'll get into that when they start playing, but not a lot of.
Will the Saints see a Super Bowl in your lifetime the rest of the way? I mean, I look at the
until they get rid of.
I look at the mortuary. I look at the mortuary table, and I don't think they'll see another Super Bowl in my lifetime. Okay.
Not until they get rid
No.
of Ben Allen, Mickey Loomis, and all of
Yeah,
them.
I have no interest in the Saints.
Got a clean slate over there. Sorry.
I'll watch the Bengals just if it's on, but.
And I'm predicting their coach will get
that franchise is just skipping by. All right, hit the like button, everybody. Says Fire 3449. Thank you.
Fire.
Yeah, Will. When do you want to do it? He says the moment we've all been waiting for, Buddy's score prediction. You want to wait a little while? How about we do it mid-show?
Yeah, it's too early for that. Look, let's get let's get a little input on some of the people that are going, when they're leaving,
Yeah.
how many days they're going to be over there. And look, I hadn't been to Vegas in a few years, but I know that it is going to be the happening spot this weekend. I know Georgia and Clemson started off 11 o'clock on Saturday, Florida and Miami 2:30. Notre Dame and Texas A&M. A&M a slight favorite in that game, even though they're ranked 20th and Notre Dame 7th. And of course, the mouth of the Boulder, Colorado Buffaloes, Deion Sanders and his yeah, Mike said, I love those uniforms. The Rocky Mountain High of Colorado, Deion Sanders and those sons, they debut tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, North Dakota State. North Dakota State is not a team you pick a fight with.
I'm pulling for North Dakota State.
No, I'm not pulling for them, but I'm just saying, look, I want to see what your boy Quentin does.
Quincy, yeah. Devin Johnson with a super chat. Thank you. He said, them speakers got to have some bass in them or what? Yeah, the new scoreboard and all the ribbon boards and all the LED screens. If you saw our video and you saw other images and stuff out there from elsewhere, I really even when they run through the chute, that little awning that was typically something made out of vinyl with the head on it, that's now LED. Look, we just got a little sample today. I talked to someone who's seen it at night in full action, and they say it's going to be something special. But they also told me
Jaden and Coach Smokey both agreeing with that.
50% volume is what we got. I didn't play it. I didn't put that in our audio. They played Call in Baton Rouge. Unfortunately, if I load any video on a YouTube that's got Garth Brooks Call in Baton Rouge, the original the writer of that song, it's a Garth Brooks, that's a remake. That guy demands that all the videos get taken down. So anytime there's Call in Baton Rouge and LSU, I stop recording. So, I could put it up on my website on TigerBait and it wouldn't, but YouTube will take it down immediately. And
I drove by right after you guys finished, and believe it or not, folks, they were playing neck in the stadium, and everybody was going crazy. I couldn't tell if they had the bad words in there or not.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to say it this year, and it always happens. When are they going to play neck? And of course, the LSU traditions. But how many days?
But he was talking about the bass. I was told by someone sitting in the building that they turned the volume up and they were playing something with a heavy bass track, and that it was shaking the cubicles inside the athletic building across the parking lot. That there's so many subwoofers and transducers inside that north end zone scoreboard. They're never going to get to 100% like Kelly's in said today. But, I'm just imagining if they played AC/DC Thunderstruck or something like that, and they really wanted to impress you, that they could really blow it out. So I'm anxious to see how it all comes about.
Hey, where was that little gun you used to use to track the decibel?
Yeah, we used to have I still have it in a drawer, a decibel meter.
All right, get it ready for October.
In fact, I'm going to put a battery in it, and I'm going to bring it.
Get it ready for October 12th.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. Thanks, Devin. I tell you what we're going to do. Let's hear from Mike and Alex over at Pride Roofing.
Hi, I'm Michael with Pride Roofing.
I'm Little Alex.
Have you been affected by wind, hail, and tornadoes on the North Shore? Well, we're here to help.
Insurance claim, no problem.
We also have a new franchise location in New Orleans.
We don't build projects, we build memories.
Though you know Pride Roofing is the official roofer at TigerBait.com.
In fact, notify TigerBait and we'll give you a free roof inspection. And on top of that, you get a free year subscription. Remember to call us at 855-PRIDE-16.
855-PRIDE-16. Give them a call anywhere in South Louisiana. Of course, Mike Faraday is a Broadmoor High LSU grad. His cohort, Alex, absolutely fine people. Better Business Bureau, the works. Based in Hammond, Crown Metals, Baton Rouge location, Houma, North Shore, New Orleans. They've got you covered. And free roof inspection. Let them earn your business. Call them up, 855-PRIDE-16. If you say TigerBait when you call, they're going to pay for you to have TigerBait Premium for a year. That's a $99 value. So free roof inspection, and you say TigerBait, you're going to get a free TigerBait subscription. You can't beat it. It's free all the way around. If you're in a bid situation, if your insurance company requires 2 or 3 bids, Let them get involved. They're on a first name basis with all the insurance adjusters in Louisiana. They use the same program that they use to figure out the ballpark of what it should cost. And of course, they always have at least $2 to $3 million worth of shingles in stock in the yard. There's not many roofing companies in Louisiana that can boast that. A lot of them order as needed. And sometimes if you're choosing a color in a grade that's a high grade, you could be waiting a couple of 3 months for that to come in. That's not going to be the case at Pride Roofing. And they don't stock anything that's builder grade.
Metal roofs, folks. I talked to Mike a couple times in the last couple of weeks, and he continues to talk about metal roofs. Since the acquisition of Crown Metals, the metal roof business has changed tremendously in the state of Louisiana. But I want to tell you something else about them tonight. They care. How many times do you go to a place, and I'm not beating up anybody else, but they freaking care. That's what is important about doing business with people. I don't care if it's trees or this but they care. They want your business. We want you to give them an opportunity. 855-PRIDE-16. A ton of references, and they do it the right way. They get there early. They get their business done. They are done before. And of course, I'm driving over here. You know, the days are getting shorter, but they've been up there on those roofs when it's 100 degrees. They go the extra mile, but they care. Give them an opportunity. They're not on TV every 30 minutes. Good people will sharpen the pencil with a competitive deal, have everything you need. Pride Roofing. You're going to take great pride, and I'm going to say it right now, in the turnaround on the defensive side of the football, and you're going to see with good coaches. Did somebody text me that Omar Speights made an NFL roster today? Omar Speights, I was talking about him, boy, he looks good. But the way he was coached last year, they got absolutely nothing on him. You're going to see a difference in coaching. You're going to have great pride. And if you do business with Mike and Alex, you'll have great pride about that decision as well.
All right, Kelly, let's dive in. I want to get as many of these comments in. Good evening, Mike and Buddy. Glad to be with you, Kelly. Watley. Andy Whitaker, Will Campbell is locked in. He's going to carry this team on his back this year if he has to. Spectrum Well Care says, Buddy, I think Will Campbell has earned a couple of Manda sausages.
Have you noticed just how mean he is, though? This year?
Wilk says he enjoyed the tour of the recovery center. He said he wants to see Buddy in one of the cryopods.
That's all right, but I tell you what, it was impressive. You've been out there all week.
They don't spare any. They don't go cheap
and
on anything.
I told you this on the Abbreviate radio show. This is what you sell besides NIL. You're talking about the complete package. Everybody wants the bag, but you come to LSU and you are getting, and how many times are we hearing it? Man, these guys have been in big games. They've been trained. They know how to process. You go on and on and on. But these are the little things that they sell in recruiting that a lot of people don't even touch, because all they're trying to do is pay somebody to come pay for play, and then a year later, they're bye-bye.
Who dat? I'd say so.
What did who dat say?
He says, who is USC's quarterback? Is any good? And that's Miller Moss. Yeah, he's certainly good.
Shout out to Who Dat and Little Trey. They are big fans of this show and want to know when I'm going to get on the same lifting program as Mike, and I don't think we will ever accomplish that. But Miller Moss is his name, very comparable to Garrett Nussmeier. They're both 6'2", 200.
A lot of similarities between these two teams.
They both play behind Heisman Trophy winners, and they're both in their fourth year waiting their role and did not leave. I got to tell you, folks, USC has a ton of talent on wide receivers. They are going to get out here and dink it and dunk it and throw it in space. The difference is that instead of LSU is going to be retreating and coming button tackles, they're going to be pushing and trying to win the line of scrimmage and making him uncomfortable. You got to make number 7 uncomfortable on Sunday night if you're going to have success.
I reached out to a buddy of mine who has run a USC site for over 20 years on Monday, because I was like, when's Lincoln Riley? He's going to speak. And, a lot of coaches in different leagues, they'll do theirs on Tuesday. Of course, BK will be on Tuesday next week because of Labor Day. But anyways, he goes, he's going to see us after practice tomorrow. He told me that on Monday. It just shows you, when you talk about the SEC saying it just means more. They don't have a room. They don't put the media in a big auditorium. It's basically Lincoln Riley after practice standing against a wall that kind of looks like a Saints coach after practice. You know, I think the media, maybe there's like 8 of them there. It's astonishing.
There's a lot of things to do in LA. USC was not on the front page.
There's no, I mean, BK and any LSU coach before him typically goes 30 to 40 minutes. I think he went 7.5. And that's the presser for the week. Game week.
I saw a show earlier with a host and two former USC players, and they went about 12 minutes and asked some tough questions. But look, he was very calm. We know this is a guy that didn't want to come compete in the SEC. We know the last time he ran out of the tunnel and saw the purple and gold, he got his ever-loving ass kicked.
That was, of all the beatdowns that LSU had that season, that one was the worst. I mean, they laid it to Oklahoma. I mean, that was a clinic. That was almost like an NFL team against some 8th graders.
And look, we understand it's different now. He's on the left coast, but back, look, they've got some talent. Every one of their starters on defense, just about, is from the transfer portal. Got a new DC, got a new D-line coach. So they have a lot more questions than LSU on the defensive side of things. That all being said, Miller Moss, and look, we've been talking about Zachariah Branch. Guess what, folks? They've got other wide receivers. They've got a good tight end. I don't know about the offensive line. Their defensive line is big, including Bear Alexander and others. So if LSU doesn't win the line of scrimmage, Mike, I would be disappointed Sunday night.
I'm not understanding. It says low. They're saying that we have low volume. Are y'all still having that problem? Let me scroll down. They keep saying we can't hear Buddy. I don't know. Let me see this real quick. Everything's registering. Everything's big here. I'm not sure.
Well, so that might not be a bad thing, not being able to hear everything I say tonight.
1 second.
But look, folks, the new communications in the helmets left on the play clock, it cuts off, and so you're going to see some signals, you're going to see some cards. Blake Baker is on the field. Joe Sloan is in the press box. Joe Sloan down to the Garrett Nussmeier. Greg Penn surprised me today. He said they hadn't told him who would be the one with the green dot helmet. The green dot helmet is when you get the
All right. What about now, folks? I just moved some things.
Does it look better? But anyway,
Give me some comments.
Penn with the green dot on defense and Nussmeier with the green dot helmet on offense.
Yeah, I don't understand what's happening because all my meters look fine. They're all pumping. Give me 1 second, folks. 1 second.
This is the kind of stuff that could happen Sunday night.
All right, how about now? Try it now.
Now, all the communications. Listen, this could be an omen of what happens on Sunday night. You know, communications goes haywire. You've got to ad lib. You got to have a plan B, and I can't wait to see how that works along with the tablets on the sideline.
Is it better now, Devin? Is that what you're saying? Yes.
Okay.
All right. Good. All right.
David.
Thank you. All right. I had to hit another button on the way out.
By the way, Joe Sloan, I am as excited how excited is he going to be? But Mike, you know there's going to be a lot of people involved with that game plan. And I firmly think that BK is going to make sure this thing does not get out of control. He is smart enough to know LSU has got to win this football game for everybody's welfare.
They're saying we're still having issues. Buddy, you want to talk while I'm going to get another different microphone?
Okay, well, I will try.
Hold on. Keep talking.
Yeah. Well, once again, hey, we got Amanda spicy tidbits for you on this Wednesday night. And, of course, all of our great sponsors. We tell you about Amanda. Don't forget they are official smoked sausage of LSU athletics. And USC, folks, in the last 2 years, when they have 2 turnovers or more, they are an 11-0.
Hold on a second. Try it. Just got the hold.
And of course, if they have less than 2 turnovers the last 2 years, they're 4-8.
Is that better?
So now we get to the question, ball security, Mike.
Tell me if that mic helps him.
If over and under.
Yeah, I don't understand. It says nothing.
All right.
Unplug that and plug it back into that one. Or I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna share a mic.
Hold on.
I don't know how we're gonna do that, but
Let's get this one. Let's see if this one can come back. Go back to this one.
Yeah.
That's the one you've been having.
all right.
All right, let's see if we got that.
Yeah, they say mine sounds fine, but that one's not. So,
Well, folks, usually this kind of stuff designates turnovers. So don't freak out. All right, it looks like it's buzzing now.
hello. Yeah, but it's all lit up.
Okay.
Anything better? No, it's the same. Some people say they can't. I don't know. Some people are getting it in mono. All right, look, we just gotta keep talking.
Yeah. We'll wait through it, and this is an omen that it's not going to be an easy game on Sunday night.
Yeah.
You got to ad-lib, folks. This is what happens in real life. This is what happens in the football field, and processing and being able to slow down. I'm going to make another prediction here, Mike. LSU will have to call at least one timeout on Sunday night because of the communications time clock or whatever. It happens all the time, folks.
All right. I tell you what we're gonna do. Let's hear from Genesis of Lafayette, and I'm gonna see if we can get something resolved here.
Got a brand new attitude, like bing bang boom on a pink balloon. Like I just do what I wanna do, like ooh, ooh, brand new.
All right. I'm just gonna have Buddy move a little bit closer, and then we're gonna have him pick up on my mic, and that's fine. Don't even worry about that other stuff. Yeah. All right. Genesis of Lafayette. Give him a call. Blake Mesh, greatest salesman on earth. Jaron Guidry, the sales manager. They've running some fantastic specials on Genesis of Lafayette. Call them at 877-856-2961, toll free, and set up your test drive. There's a reason why they're the #1 Genesis dealer in the state of Louisiana. And the mics are what they are. No more comments on the mic, please. Let's talk some football, and hopefully y'all be able to hear Buddy a little bit better through my microphone now that he's moved over a bit. All right, let's see. Yeah, someone says you can hear him better on the phone than on streaming on TV. All right. Yeah, that might be the best idea. I'm going to unplug mine and use the handheld. Hold on.
Folks, we did. Okay.
Here we go.
There we go. Yeah. Put that handheld right in the middle. There we go.
Yep. All right. So, I think that's going to work much better. All right.
I mean, we're good friends, but listen, folks, you got to ad-lib, Mike. This is what happens, and I think that.
How about this? Does this sound better?
Hey, if you're going to Vegas, once again, going to be a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, and I'm happy to hear USC
This
sold some
is
tickets.
working much better. So if
Yeah.
you want to kick that thing a little bit out of the way. All right. Let me scroll up. I've got a comment here that I just went right over. Well, there it is. John Sibley Butter, the 2019 Tigers hung 59 on Lincoln Riley's OU team. How do you see the coaching matchups between Lincoln Riley and BK? Why is Riley considered a great coach, but his record is average?
Well, listen, we're talking about a renowned and famous doctor who has done great things at LSU in Texas. Not to correct him, but I think it was 63. against Oklahoma, and it could have actually been 80. But Doc, an interesting question. Lincoln Riley, we thought, was going to be coaching LSU. He was the flavor of the day, the week, and the month. And yet, he used LSU to get a better gig at USC. That being said, Scott Woodward had to go into plan B and brought in BK. Look, the good thing to tell you tonight is that BK's not playing against the top 10 team. His record against the top 10 teams is not good. He's got to get better there. But this is the top 23 team. So that's the first thing. Lincoln Riley is known for offense, but he's also known for being relatively soft on defense. And as we alluded to in that game, now look, I was in the Sugar Bowl, obviously, with when LSU beat him with the first championship in obviously 45 years in 03, culmination that year. And we know that was big game, Bob Stoops, and they thought they were infallible. But Riley never has been able to put offense, defense, and toughness. His teams have never been tough. That's why I didn't want to come play in the SEC. And so he's going to get a lot of talent out west. But in answer to the question, I think overall BK has probably, BK's leading the country in active wins. But guess what? That doesn't mean anything to these fans. They want natties, they want SEC championships, and they want wins against top 10. So, Doc, to answer your question, I heard Andrew Whitworth say, USC was the paper tiger, the champions in 03. LSU was the BCS champions. This game will determine it. I like LSU's odds in this game. I really do. Would you take BK or would you take Lincoln Riley?
I like BK.
Yeah.
But, you remember what that coaching search was like. A lot of people were sold on Lincoln Riley until it looked like it wasn't him and then became BK. But
I did not want him. There were rumors.
But I always wonder, like, what would have happened had BK not moved on? Had he stayed at Notre Dame? Who was the next guy up? Who was Woodward going to get?
I don't know.
And it's kind of like, when Ed Orgeron got the job, what would happen had he lost to A&M? There's no way that Oliva could have rolled him out.
Yeah.
So who would have been the next guy up then? Larry Fedora?
No.
Who might have been the next guy up if BK would have said no?
Well, we're dealing with reality, and BK has landed, and this is a big year for Brian Kelly. And I like the way he has been looser that we've seen. Yes, he's going to be tight tomorrow. He's going to be tight on the pregame interviews. Look, everybody gets nervous. But once again, in answering to the question with Doc Sibley, I think toughness is going to be a telltale sign in this game. I think LSU is going to be mentally and physically tougher on Sunday night.
All right. Dr. Butler, thank you so much for that super chat as always.
Superman.
Absolutely. All right, let me scroll down. I got a bunch of new comments. Trey Potan with a super chat. It's time, fellas. LSU has fell short on opening primetime games. Used to being dominant in those games. Love the show and go Tigers. And, look, buddy, we're at the midway mark. You ready to do it? You ready to call your shot?
Let's take a few more and then we'll get to it. This is not about me and you. It's about these folks. Let's get them done and then we'll give you my scenario.
All right. Thank you for that super chat, Trey Potan.
Thank you, Trey.
Michael Duyon, what challenges does the new D coordinator for USC give the Tigers?
It's a tough question. That's what you're trying to figure out. What UCLA played, and now all these new players. When you have transfers, they are all highly sought after. Bear Alexander and many of the guys they've got a kid from A&M, but they have not played as a conglomerate team. Deuce Chestnut and Denver Harris last year had talent, but they did not fit. Now, it might have been because of the coaching, okay? It might have been because of the attitude or whatever, but I like LSU's continuity with what Blake Baker and those guys have going on. I think that's a big question. What defense for USC is going to show up?
All right. Dane Bergeron, Mike wants Les Miles back. Yeah, no thanks.
Snake, hope to see you this fall. And if Shark comes in and makes a comment in the next 5 minutes, LSU is not only going to win, but they're going to cover.
Ammo Cat, all this fear over Riley when Lane is a way better coach and play caller.
How many championships Lane Kiffin have? I don't think he's got any. But anyway, he is a
Who would you take, Lane Kiffin or Lincoln Riley?
Ooh,
I'm taking Lane Kiffin.
I would too.
But
He's still got to get better on defense. And they paid a bunch of NIL players this year.
Mark J, 2 sacks for Jacoby and Guillory. That would be good.
Yeah, I might talk to his daddy. I like Swinson to get a sack. I like Major Burns on blitzes. I like Harold Perkins to get back up there. You know Perk is going to knock him down, and he's going to stand right over him and say, Miller Moss, your ass is mine tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's going to say much worse.
Yeah.
Let's hope the swag and the talk does not solicit a 15-yard penalty. Jacoby and Guillory got to play under control. Everybody thinks he's going to have a great year. I don't know if he is the pass rushing type to get 2 sacks, but I'd love to see it.
All right, Stroube's. Folks, TigerBait live shows are proudly brought to you this football season by Stroube Seafood and Steaks, 107 3rd Street, downtown Baton Rouge. They pride themselves on providing a 5-star dining experience for a reasonable price. Locally owned with ownership that's in the building, taking a daily level of pride at the highest level. Food and service you won't just see from any corporate establishment. Stroube's features a full menu of specialty meats, including USDA prime black Angus steaks, 100% certified Wagyu New York strip. And for those looking for something outside of red meat, they offer items such as dry-aged pork chop, black truffle lobster pasta, redfish, and a lot more. Book your reservation online tonight at Stroube's.com. And please do me a favor when you're there. Let them know that TigerBait.com sent you in. And I tell you what, it's one of the best steaks I've had in a long time, that cowboy ribeye that you see right there on the screen, and the potatoes. Excellent desserts that they make in-house. And, yeah, there's no food service desserts over there, I assure you. They have the best homemade desserts. And head over there to Stroube's, downtown Baton Rouge.
I don't know what it is, but I love football players that have the nickname Pork Chop, and I love the pork chop over at Stroube's. Took the girlfriend and family over there years ago and have been back since over there. Had a buddy of mine that was downtown last weekend, went over there, wanted me to tell you and Stroube's just how incredible it was. And yes, he did get the dessert you bragged about.
There you go. Kenny Haynes says, Buddy, I have about 10 grand in this Vegas trip. It better be a win. I got to pay for my new ad. That's right. Kenny Haynes be debuting a new commercial on our post-game show. Of course, he's been sponsoring our post-game show every year for years now, and we're glad to have him back for 2024. Absolutely. John Sibley, but LSU's just a good job with the Tigers' recruiting base and history. I might be able to go 9-3. And Kenny Haynes says, I have 12 confirmed for Stroube's in September. Absolutely. And just absolutely fantastic food. You got to go downtown. And believe me, the parking is easy. Yeah, Brad David. I remember
Bobby.
Mel Tucker. Yeah. I remember Mel Tucker was a hot name when the LSU job was open. Thank God he was not hired. Boy, he was, wasn't he? He was hot as a
Well,
firecracker.
President Tate wanted him to get an interview for obvious reasons, but look, when you looked into his skeletons, there was some baggage. I'll just say that.
Yeah, with our mic trouble tonight, Andy Whitaker says, let's just hope Sloan's mic doesn't go out on Sunday.
Well, this is what we're trying to simulate, folks. We did that on
Yeah, but
purpose.
we don't have cards and everything, you know.
We did it on purpose to show you that it's not always as simple.
It got
as
me
you
running
think it
around
is.
frazzled and kicking stuff over here. Yeah, all right. Yeah, let's talk about this. Paul Fermettery. No Doug Morrow as color commentator this season. It's going to be different, absolutely. No Bornay and this season, or hopefully he'll get back later in the year. And certainly now the news of Doug Morrow, Jacob Hesser is going to take his place. And so, yeah, that was a lot of new stuff, but some of it, you know, you hope everybody's well.
Yeah, look, everybody gets old. I'm getting along in the tooth, and you know, I'll continue to talk as the good Lord allows me. But look, Dan Barnett and Doug Morrow about as two of the classiest guys that you could ever meet. It was never about them. Just like Ed Daniels, they were selfless. They did their jobs, Look, Jake is going to do, Hester's going to do a great job for Doug Morrow, and Bill Pipes Franquez will do a great job for Dan Barnett. But look, at this point, their health is more than doing the game. So we wish both of them a speedy recovery.
Bart Smokey, Clay Travis has LSU at 45-28. Yeah, I think a lot of people would take that. Travis is a big SEC guy, obviously. Yeah, Michael Duyon. God bless Doug. We will miss him this season. Eric DeLion, no Doug. Oh no, the end of an era? Question mark. The way these releases have read, that these guys are just for the season, and you hope that that's all that it is.
But if not, they've had incredible careers, and this is what is evolving. Listen, if you know about what happened with the defensive coaches, and I've said this on numerous occasions, this is a young man's game. And Doug and Dan Barnett have nothing to apologize for what they have done, but they're both smart.
Doug Morrow is truly, he doesn't get a lot of publicity, but he truly has been one of the great.
Oh, he's been incredible.
You talk about SEC color analysts. You would put Doug Morrow up there with anybody that at any school's radio team. Absolutely.
But look, you get replaced by younger folks, and that's what happened with the defensive staff, and that's why I'm excited. And I think that Bill Franquez and Jacob Hester will fill in nicely, and they'll make the decisions on the future. But if it is the end, they have nothing to apologize. And as we always say, God bless you for what you did, and may the good Lord bless and keep you and your family. They've both been classic.
Yeah, I grew up with Sid Crocker and Ferguson.
Dr. 4652, please call Medical Exchange.
Yeah, Rabelais was doing that earlier today.
Sid Crocker was legendary, man.
Yeah. Dane Bergeron with a super chat. He says, thank God we don't have to listen to Danielson this year. T-Bob should replace Doug Morrow instead of Hester.
I disagree.
Yeah, I think Hester's good.
I think Hester's good, and T-Bob could get a little shafast like his daddy does sometimes.
Yeah.
I remember one year, Bobby and I were sitting next to
because by that time, with the post-game show they do, usually by the first quarter, he's already.
Well, I was just going to tell you, years ago, they sit me next to Bobby Hebert in the press box, and of course, there's no cheering in the press box. You're not supposed to make any kind of, loud, I guess you could say, burst. And so Bobby came in there, and he was feeling good. I'll just say that. And so all of a sudden something happens. He bangs his hand on the thing. And so Barnett looks over there thinking it was me. And I'm going, it's not me. So about 15 minutes later, they had to tell Bobby, hey, man, bye-bye. But I disagree with you on that one, Snake.
And by the way, I saw where Bobby Hebert's mama passed away. So that's T-Bob's grandmother. So
okay.
Rest in peace and the best to the.
But I think Jacob Hester's the better choice there.
Mark J says 31-17. I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under too. And I'll go ahead and say it. I'm picking LSU 30-27.
Wow. I don't know who pulled his arm, but
30-27, and I'm still have LSU at 9-3.
All right. Well, here's my scenario real quick, folks. I think LSU is going to win, and I think they're going to cover. Now, if you go to Vegas and get totally inebriated and say, oh, honey, I'm going to put 50 or I'm going to put 100, or a big timer like Kenny would probably put 1,000 on the game, you're letting your heart dictate your pocketbook than your head.
But you're talking about the over. I mean, the point spread's 4. And the over and under is 66.
Yeah,
64.
I'm going 34-27.
I mean, I think the line and the over unders are perfect for Vegas.
But you said 30-27. I'm going 34-27, and I think you're going to see LSU play bully ball. I see a very competitive first half. I see the second half LSU exerting their will with the run game, playing bully ball, like Georgia Tech did to Florida State, like Florida State did to LSU last year in the second half. And obviously, there's still some questions. We don't know who's going to kick off. We don't know who's going to hold on PATs and field goals. We don't know the role of the punters. Is it going to be Blake Oxendorf as a straight-up punter and then have Peyton Todd as a pooch punter or a rugby punter? All those things we don't know. but I do like LSU to open up the season 5-0. And I think people are sleeping on one fact that you're going to all be talking about midway during the season, and that just how good this schedule plays out. If, and that's a big if, you beat USC, you take care of business, you're 5-0, you're probably playing a 6-0 Ole Miss team that'll have to play back-to-back road games. They go to Carolina the week before LSU, October 12th, celebration of 100 years. So I've got 5-0. From there, 10-2 for the regular season. So actually not too far off than what you.
All right. Yeah, Hal Juba says it's 64.5. I mean, they've really got, to me, they've got it dialed in, the bookies.
So let's.
I don't know if this is a game you touch.
Yeah, I predicted 61 points, and you look, USC could have some early scores. I had a technical issue for about 10 minutes on radio. We just had a technical issue, so I'm going to say LSU could turn it over a couple times. Oh, by the way, only 8 turnovers last year for LSU, 5 INTs and 3 fumbles. Get ready for that number to get into double digits. It's just common sense talk.
All right. Alumni Hall, folks. If you're going to Las Vegas and you're getting on the plane Friday, get over there tomorrow. They're loaded up if you're able to get to Baton Rouge. Of course, in Perkins Row, best place to get all your LSU fan gear. Alumni Hall, shop at their store, Blue Bonnet in Perkins Row. Shop online at alumnihall.com. They've got the LSU USC game shirts, T-shirts there. In fact, I've got it linked at the bottom of the story item for this show on TigerBait. You can get those on order and use TigerBait, all one word. Use that coupon code and you'll get 10% off. And you can also get that 10% off at the register no matter what you buy at any time at Alumni Hall. They got the nicest polos. They got all the top brands, Peter Millar, Johnny O, On Reserve, all the Nike gear. And by the way, those Nike shoes that come out every year, they come out tomorrow morning. So Alumni Hall is going to have a batch of those as well. LSU, they put out those Nike shoes every August. They hit tomorrow morning. So Alumni Hall will have those. Get them before they're gone. And so shop with them. You can earn rewards on future purchases with their Hall Pass Rewards program. And use the code TigerBait, 10% off. Use the code TigerBait. And I tell you what else I want to do right now.
Give
Mandus.
yourself a good half hour, folks. You're going to get in that store. You do not want to rush through that store. We always say that.
All right, Mandus.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
There it is. Manda Flavor says it all. And a Louisiana institution. And, of course, a big part of LSU athletics for decades. And, of course, been one of Buddy's sponsors since the late 80s.
Hey, look, we got a new thing that we're going to kick off this football season. Take a picture of all of your barbecue and wherever it is with the Manda products. Make it Manda on game day. It is a good luck piece. It's exactly what the state of Louisiana is all about. And I'm going to give you my last little Manda tidbit. Oh, in case you've been sleeping, been on a cruise, whatever, here are the latest numerical changes. Sage Ryan has moved from 15. He will wear number 3. And I'm sure he's got the okay from Greg Brooks on wearing that number 3. Deshaun Womack was 16 on the defensive end. He's going to be now wearing Sage Ryan's 15. Harold Perkins has been awarded the second number 7. He will wear the 7 on the game day throughout the year. Will Campbell has the 7 in a circle patch. Will have to wear 66 on the offensive line. And, of course, as we know, Josh Williams no longer 27. He is now 18. Greg Penn III is no longer 3. He is now 18 on defense. And so, Mike, we've been talking about all these double numbers and single-digit numbers and all. And now we got more changes. So Get your roster before the game. You don't want to be embarrassed if somebody scores a touchdown and she said, "Oh, honey, who is that?" And you go, I don't know. Chris Hilton, by the way, wearing 3 on offense. Let's knock on wood and hope that young man gets back healthy. He deserves it.
Yeah. I'm to the point where Chris Hilton, if you get something out of him, it's line you up. But I mean, after how many years, it's like, is it time, man? It's Brad Davy with a super chat. Where do you think Jimbo ends up when he gets back into coaching? Could he get the Florida? No, it's not happening. When Napier is fired or go to a smaller school, he's going to have to go to. If he ever wanted to get back into coaching, which, part of me thinks he will because he loves football that much. But I think the next Florida coach is Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
And what's funny is because it's funny that Napier and Kiffin are close. Wouldn't that be something?
By the way, Billy Napier with a really big game on Saturday. They host Miami at the Swamp, 2:30. A&M, Mike Elko, new coach. We're going to see if this Notre Dame coach is the real deal. We know that a lot of Notre Dame haters come into this show, and they're still pulling against Brian Kelly. And I would say that it will be interesting to see if they lose that game right out of the gate. A, that tells you how good A&M is going to be. That will be a tough game for LSU on the road. But B, it could tell you once again Notre Dame's overrated. And obviously we mentioned that because Mike Denbrock is now back at Notre Dame as the offensive coordinator. So I don't know how good Marcus Freeman is going to be. They've done a good job of recruiting, but I wouldn't trade Notre Dame and their coach with LSU and their coach right now.
Thank you for that, Brad, for that super chat. Rick Cloetti, who's your pick for Florida, Miami, and A&M Notre Dame? I like the Hurricanes and I like the Irish. Yours?
It's tough to pick with Billy Napier. I mean, they've got to somehow win that game, and I'm not sold on their quarterbacks. I think that A&M Irish game is going to come down to a field goal. I'm going to pick Mike Elko and the Aggies.
Okay, I'm going Notre Dame.
All right.
MO Cat, Arkansas is always close, and at A&M, Swamp will be tough. Absolutely.
Swamp won't be tough this year. Sorry, I disagree. By the time LSU gets to Florida, Billy Napier will be lucky to be the coach of the Florida Gators. They have the toughest schedule in the country.
Eric DeLine, I want to ask, is anyone else like me? I really do check out and not listen to much football talk at all during the offseason until August. Is anybody else like that? I have to recharge. Well, obviously I'm not. I got to do it for a living, but I think some people are probably like that. I saw someone that was complaining we had too many ads. You obviously don't listen to talk radio here in Baton Rouge. An hour-long show, you're lucky to get about 25 minutes of sports talk.
Maybe 32.
Yeah.
Look, folks, this is one of the things that Mike and I have talked about, and we are fortunate to have these good sponsors make this show available, and we hear basically every Wednesday night. And look, I said this 10 years ago, and I certainly think it's going to come to fruition one day. You're going to have Coca-Cola in the north end zone and McDonald's in the south end zone, or vice versa. I mean, you're getting more and more ads on the stadium. You got to pay the bills some way. And oh, by the way, interesting to see Jay Johnson doing his thing today. Ads everywhere in all the stadiums. This is just the landscape.
Speaking of paying the bills, those of you, that video of the Recovery Center, I think it's got like 10,000 views now. If you notice, over Brian Kelly's shoulder while he was talking was the History Channel playing on one of those TV screens, a documentary on the Loch Ness Monster. That Loch Ness Monster video over his shoulder made it so I got a copyright hit and 4 hours of editing because it was 4K and all that time I spent, an hour there in the building shooting it all, zero. They almost took it down. It's crazy, the rules on YouTube sometimes. Drew Boogie, listen to WWL. There's an ad every 5 minutes. Yeah. Eric DeLine, by the way, Mike, you're the only one I listen to year round. Appreciate all you do. Seriously, thank you, Eric. Man, that's nice of you to say, and glad you enjoyed it. And absolutely, I think we've had like 800 subscribers in the last 3 weeks to the channel. We hit 31 just weeks ago. We're about to hit 32. So thank you. Yeah, they do. Crypto, you're right. YouTube does stick ads in there also. And I can't control that. Let's see. I'm scrolling back up. Yeah, Drew Boogie, Jimbo needs to stay at the house.
Yeah, look, Jimbo said that just to get his name out there, but who in the hell needs to get a gig when you got paid all those millions?
Where is he doing these interviews? I never see him. Do you know who? He's been laying low, but is he going to be doing any analyst gigs anywhere?
Well, the women audience would be saying these football coaches are hooked on power and ego. And so I thought the funniest thing of all was when Woodward, when Jimbo and Saban got after each other, remember about how they paid and this and all. Woodward was at Sandestin, and of course, Feinbaum was interviewing him, and he said, "What did you think about this this tete-a-tete?" And Scott Woodward deadpanned and said, "I'm smart enough to know not to ever get into the middle of two West Virginia hillbillies arguing. Jimbo's from West Virginia, Saban's from West Virginia. Got to ask you, because you were not naturally enamored to Saban. Has he grown on you, or
did you see this new commercial for the bed and breakfast?
Oh yeah,
that's the best one he's ever done. That I don't know if y'all have seen it, but that new commercial for Airbnb or whatever it is, that was fantastic.
But Will Campbell made a reference about Saban talking about you could shake a tree in Louisiana, and he meant wide receivers just fall off. But interesting to see.
LA Mom is correct, by the way. Not to real quick. Pay for YouTube Premium. You get rid of all the ads worth every penny. You probably watch more YouTube, more and more. I watch a ton of YouTube. I pay for YouTube Premium, and it is awesome. YouTube is about 80% men that watch it. Women don't watch as much. LA Mom's obviously watching, but for the most part, YouTube is like 80% male most of the time. And if you think about all the ads that you can skip, and you're not doing that 5-second deal because you're paying it's so worth the $9 the amount of time that you spend.
2 shout outs to the ladies out there. Oh, Danny, girl, we love you and can't wait to see you enjoy a great season. And Nurse Court is taking her talents to Las Vegas. I'm sure there are going to be plenty of stories from her trip over there. And all I can tell you is that I feed off of what these coaches and players sound like, look like, act like. We got a chance to see more football than ever before, albeit the cameras were turned off. I think we've got a better idea of what this team is going to look like. And I'm telling you, when you see 86, 88, and 14 all on the same field at the same time, that's 13 personnel. Wait till you see Trey'Dez Green Sunday night. He is a big A receiver. Wait till you see how Pipton has gotten better. Oh, by the way, you're going to be watching block punts. This is one of the things I'm going to ask BK about tomorrow. But the 3 protective guys back there, 0 Parashan, 67 Bo Bordelon in the middle, 35 Savion Jones. They may be important parts, because I wouldn't be not shocked if USC comes after a punt on Sunday night, especially seeing that they haven't determined which is
they're going to have something that they do.
You don't go to Vegas and play vanilla. There's going to be some gambling going on. You're not going to see Joe Sloan and Blake Baker at the craps table or playing Russian roulette or whatever. You're going to see them gambling Sunday night.
All right, Capital City Grill. One more bill to pay, y'all.
It is so good.
Yeah, another one of our TigerBait sponsors, and proud to add them to our sponsorships. In 100 Lafayette Street, downtown Baton Rouge, Capital City Grill, your ideal lunch and dinner stop for your casual dining experience. Best Sunday brunch. So if you're staying in town, you live outside of Baton Rouge, you live in North Louisiana, anywhere, you're downtown in a hotel or wherever, get the Sunday brunch on the way home. And just for lunch and dinner any time of the week. And great club sandwiches, burgers, seafood pasta, steaks, everything just about priced under $30 or below. It's an affordable dining experience. And again, get that Sunday brunch. You see that Eggs Benedict on the screen. That was something the missus got when we went one Sunday. And if you had a little bit too much to drink, it's a great place to get a little hair on the dog on Sunday and get some nice food in your stomach before you head on back to wherever you're from, coming in from out of town on a game weekend. So fantastic food at Capital City Grill. All right, let's get some more comments in here. By the way, I think it was Dane earlier asked about the TigerBait little cocktail party. I think we're going to shoot for the open date. We were going to do it the third week, and just the days got caught up, and we missed it. So I think we're going to try and do something maybe during an open date week. So be on the lookout for that. Anything else you want to add on the way out? Y'all, please hit that like button if you've enjoyed the show tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to give you my little tidbits as we wrap up here. First of all, thank everybody for the input on the practice reports. We enjoyed doing them, albeit Mike and I were talking that unfortunate now we haven't been out there in a week or so, and so we're starting to eat. That's one of the things I don't like. I'm going to be nervously eating from about 1 o'clock on Sunday till about 6 o'clock, and then you get ready for all the pregame shows. But I want everybody to do this. Give this team the benefit of the doubt. If there is an early turnover, if there is a busted play in the secondary, don't blow a gasket. Relax. This team is going to play with confidence. They're going to make some mistakes, but I think in the end, they're going to get off to this losing snide. Mike and Preston will be somewhere in the 10:45 range. We eyeballed that today. Game ended at 10. You said you wanted to be.
I want to do our post-game show. I like to be live probably no more than 45 minutes after game's in, whatever the time that ends up being.
But I got it close, maybe tied at halftime, one team winning by field goal, and LSU playing bully ball with one of the better offensive lines, and I'm going to still call it, if Frank gives him the opportunity, Caleb Jackson will be the guy everybody will be talking about Monday morning and afterwards. He has a chance to be special, and as we know, how exciting is it going to be to see what Blake Baker is going to do in his first matchup as the LSU DC? It's going to be great to see all those guys unleashed, but they're going to give up some plays, so be calm, be positive, believe that LSU is going to win, not hope they're going to win, and let's hope that next Wednesday night we're talking about an excellent performance.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Again, TigerBait, we've got a lot of stuff on the website. We're also going to be hitting some high school games tomorrow and Friday night, so we're going to have a lot of prospect video coming your way. Go to TigerBait.com, subscribe. We'd love to have you as one of our premium subscribers and a part of our TigerBait community. We're on the message boards day and night on the Tiger Den, and $1 you can try us out. Post-game show, like I said, hopefully within 45 minutes of games in on Sunday night. And I think we're going to be talking about an LSU win. I really believe that. So anything else? I think that's about it.
Yeah. Have a great weekend, everybody, and enjoy all of the games.
If you're going, have a safe trip.
Yep, no doubt. Represent LSU in Louisiana, and have a great time. You're going to enjoy this weekend.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank y'all.